So the mirror mind is, so it's like very much like dancing. It's the closest thing I can think of. Like regular ballroom dancing.
People work together.
Work together. You don't tighten up, and then you can move.
Mm.
So even if you, like I learned how to dance by just trying to be a part of the partner, because I didn't know anything about dancing. But during the war, we had all these dances, you know, for the GIs and the girls and like a recreation. And I never knew how to dance, so I was like this. So if you don't tell me what to do, and I just hold the girl, and I just move with her, next thing I found myself just moving and I learned how to dance, you know. I don't know if I can tell you what I learned, you know. But the thing was, I wasn't stepping on her feet. I wasn't falling down, all right? And I was doing things in rhythm with the music. So, I don't know if I've answered you on the, I kind of got off a bit on the...
No, but it was an interesting concept.
The mirror mind is your peripheral vision and your feeling of the body. Then, of course, you become educated. For example, one of the best lessons I ever had from a teacher, I don't even know who he is, but I was training at the police academy, and they wanted him to help me out. And he had one of the best one-arm shoulder throws I ever saw. From almost any way he could throw you. So I asked him, please show me your favorite technique. I would say in Japanese, it's Sensei, Antono Tokuiwaza, your favorite throw. Let me see, please. And he'd go, Now, if the person does this, then you can throw him. If he tries a throw, here's when you can throw him. And so what he was showing was something that the word we were using in Japan then, and it's an English word, chance. Ichiban, best chance, which means opportunity to do it. So I had this lesson from him, and he was actually using the Ippon Tsuyoinage to throw as a counter throw. He was throwing when an opponent was stiff or was trying to throw you. So I went to the Kodokan that afternoon, and it was about 4 o'clock, very few people, and out on the mat came Kaminaga, who became an All Japan champion, was one of the top young players coming up. I'd only practiced with him once, and he threw me really fast with his Tai Otoshi, with the leg across. Well, I saw Kaminaga, and without thinking, I went up to him and said, can we practice? And he looks at me and goes, okay, he takes his glasses off. He has 2 buddies from the university, and they're very strong guys. And he grabs me, and he comes in with his Tai Otoshi. He's halfway through the Tai Otoshi, and I take him and I throw him through the air and smash him into the ground. And since there was hardly anybody on the mat's hollow underneath. It was like, boom! You know, it was really dramatic. He gets up, shakes his head, and now he grabs me, one hand tie, and he pulls me down real hard, and now he's going to smash me with his Tai Otoshi. Lesson number 2, somebody has your arms and they do that. As soon as he did it, I came across, I locked both of his arms, came underneath him, boom, the second time I threw him. Everyone's standing there looking. Kaminaga got up, he looks at me and goes, that's all. Thank you. And he backed off. Charlie Palmer was there from England, who became head of the AJJIF and so forth. He comes up to me and says, my God, Arnold, you just smashed Kaminaga twice. I says, I know, Charlie. I'm going to get dressed and go home. I don't believe I did it, you know. But it was from this lesson, this concept of the timing and the way you do it, you know, for that throw. So that's where the power is. So that's where this is where I learned what I call Ippon Judo. And very few people understand this. They're all, you've got to get your grip. See, this book says, right at the beginning, that all these tricks in here, it says they don't work. You want these to work? You have to break their balance and control your position and then apply the throw. Without that, this doesn't work, nothing here. So everybody trains and tricks and they go in and out, but they don't know how to control the balance or how to make it work. And their teacher says, "Oh, keep doing it more and more and more." You know, the definition of stupidity, if you do something wrong and you keep repeating it thinking you're going to do it right, that's called stupidity. See? So we're in a rut because all of our training material, the books that I wrote, they show you hold a person, you put this foot here, you do this, you do that, and that's the throw. And if somebody's cooperating, it'll work all right. But now, these books do not really, they address the concept. They'll talk about kazushi. You got a few words. Now, in my book, this is what I wanted to show you I'm starting to do here. This is, well, the cover of this one will actually be this is a promotion system for the juniors. Little kid getting a belt. And so this book has 17 ranks for the kids with stripes. And for each rank you have a little, like a chart like this. See? And here's the techniques you do. And next to it there's a column. And the teacher says you pass or you need improvement. We don't fail anybody. But he doesn't pass, so he's not gonna, when he gets to the bottom, if he doesn't have pass marks for everything, he doesn't get promoted. See? And then behind this, it's for each color belt, we have a little, the artwork that shows all these things that you're gonna do. See? This came from Italy, and we have permission to use it. And those boards there, that's the same artwork, so we do it in our dojo, see those there?
Yes, yes.
So the kids, we can walk up and show a technique, see? All right. So this is the promotion system. But then I said, but you know, this doesn't tell you how to make anything work. So part of the artwork that we got from Italy actually had like the full cartoon with instructions with the balloons. See?
So for kids it would be fun to look
Yeah.
at the cartoons and at the same time.
And what we have done with our instructions at Gardena, we have our own on-the-mat session. And somebody read this and let's do it. You gotta do what we're telling the kid. And it was interesting for the instructor, see. But in the book, now this book is about 200 pages, but about 60 of the pages tell you how to make it work. They're not the techniques. See, we don't get into the techniques until, this is just different ways to train and stuff. So this is, let's see, right from about, techniques start from about here, so you can see the book. This tells you how to do, well, this is games too, it has other things, exercises, but it talks about the gripping, talks about uchikomi, repetitive drills, but different ways to do it. And so it has this type of concept. Now, this is very difficult to explain. Just like I'm sitting here trying to explain this to you. So what I did is I did YouTubes. I had a class and I would lecture to what this was and I would demonstrate. Then I would have them do it. See? So you need a visual. So that's why this book will probably end up as a digital. You'll see as you get into the book, little places you'll see someplace here you'll see a little, that's self-defense, excuse me. This book has self-defense and but it'll have like these little things. And this says, go click here, that's the YouTube. So when you click on that, the movie starts there playing. See, so this gets me to, once I got involved in this, that's why I'm starting this Hal Sharp Judo Teaching Foundation. And what I want to do is produce this type of document, not this one, this is the organizations, this is their requirements. But this shows you every technique in there, you can go here and get more detail and see how to do it. And then what I want to do is use the money to travel or have other people, and let's pick up ways other people are teaching. Let's share this. See, I want to get away from this, you got to win a medal, you know, type of thing. So, and how do you actually teach this and make people learn? But also, most of the benefit from judo is not in the top competitive phase. It's as a beginner, learning how to fall, learning to roll around on a mat.
Yukimi's foundation.
See, these things, and that's why I would like to see little like 10-lesson courses that people could put in different community centers and teach little kids and people different ages, senior citizens, even just use more of the self-defense there and some of the movements without the throw. And you can do a lot of this without a judo gi, see. But it is good to have mats. And so that's my thought of this foundation, is to, and then have consortiums meetings where teachers, we get together, we exchange ideas. And like I have one friend who's a karate teacher. He teaches about 15 or more classes a week. And he's developed things where the kids do the work. So they will learn. Of course, he can show them, but the thing is, rather than him just show, so these are, and some of this is brought out here. We quote some of the stuff from the French. There's a pamphlet on teaching children. And I want to find out more from France. I mean, why not use the people that are doing it? I'm not going to reinvent the wheel. There's no Hal Sharp judo. See, so this artwork was cute. It had the shadow of whoever they were doing there. Rams and well, a chicken fight, so cockfight. So some of this artwork I did back years ago, and so we pulled this together. And but I thought, why not continue to do that? Because I have so much video from old days and new, and use that as a basis, and this becomes sort of this is for teachers. Now, the big problem is getting teachers to do it. Most people in judo, because it is competitive, have favorite techniques, and they really are not students of judo. And so they cannot really teach well. They can get out, they can practice. They don't think as teachers. They haven't been trained to think as teachers.
They're thinking as a competitor.
As a competitor.
Teaching, it's a special thing.
Right, and the way their teacher taught them. So one of the best lessons I ever had in teaching was when I was working for the University of California as a teacher in the extension school. I teach in the area of government contracts and stuff. And most of us were like accountants or lawyers, and we were technicians in our field. But we were never told how to teach. I mean, we're very intelligent, we could lay out a program, we could explain things. But then I began realizing the students are still not learning. I mean, they smile, they understand what you're saying, but when you get to the bottom line, they really don't understand. So I got this document written by a professor on how to teach evening classes for adults. And he said, look, these people wake up early in the morning, and the same thing goes with kids. They got a full day of activity. Now at the night, at the end of the day, they're coming to you to learn something. If you just lecture, demonstrate, you're not teaching, you're telling them how smart you are. You must get them to do, no matter how much, even if they don't do it all. And this was a wake-up call to me. And I became one of the better teachers at UCLA because I changed my whole way. And I did it with a clock. When I started class in the evening, the first 30 minutes was solving the problem I gave them last time. Then I went into the lecture and the details and some of the things. And then at a certain point I stopped and I gave them a new problem. And I gave them a hint how to solve the problem. And that's the way the class went. So as a result, everybody was involved in doing things. And I would just cut myself off. It didn't make any difference whether I told them everything I could tell them about the subject.
Hmm.
And what happened was, the payoff was big. I've had a lot of students come back to me on how it helped them with their job, and even their bosses were so taken that they insisted that people take the training for